Hello, welcome to Fair Lady of the Loch Tarot. Thank you for joining me. Today we will be using the Eight of Swords to draw us into the question of what is it that is holding us back? What are we imprisoning ourselves with that we need to move on from, release, let go of? Okay, and pile one will be the Universal Celtic Tarot with the white howlite. Pile number two will be the Everyday Witch Tarot with the Eagle's Eye. Pile number three will be the Steampunk Tarot with the Golden Healer Quartz. And pile number four will be the Rider Tarot with the aragonite cluster. Pause the video if you need to pick your pile and or piles, and I will see you in your individual readings. If you chose pile number one with the Everyday Witch, I did that again. I did that last time I did a pick a card. This is the Universal Celtic Tarot. I don't know why I'm doing that. Maybe there's something in pile two for you. Anyway, Universal Celtic Tarot, pile number one, with the white howlite. Okay? Then this is your reading. Now, how I read tarot is I read both the definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. And I just felt the calling to pull out the card that we're focusing on here. There's a great emphasis in this pile on rising up, setting oneself free. Okay? I'm getting the message that you know the way, you know the path, you know what you need to do. That is coming through clear as a bell. A sign and a symbol for you will be the great horned owl, okay, or any type of owl. The great horned owl is coming through with this particular card, okay. So that message coming through very, very strongly is, you know what you need to do. You know what the problem is. You know what the issue is, and you are actively working on it. You are taking action to set yourself free. Okay, now today, for clarity's sake, what we're going to do, usually I just let them fall out however they will, but today we are going to use the dove and serpent method. Okay, the situation and the challenge just flew out on its own, so we're going to take that and then we will set these up accordingly, using what some refer to as the dove and serpent, what others refer to the Celtic cross, what to me always kind of looks like a sword and shield. And for this being swords and us wanting very good clarity on this message, we are going to utilize this method. So right out of the bat, we have a swords situation, dead center. Now, I want you to know that there are many different ways of reading the dove and serpent, Celtic cross, okay? Everyone has their own way. I like a very simple, straightforward message where each spot is very clear and very concise when I'm doing this particular structure. Okay, so first card in the center is your situation. So the situation in this Nine of Swords energy is your thoughts, right? But I'm also getting that there's some repression of spiritual gifts due to fear. They're asking you to unlock your mind. And I am getting that you are working on that. You are absolutely working on it. I'm getting that some of you see things other people don't see, or that people in your family see things that you don't see. And if that second one is the case, they're letting you know that you are also capable of seeing. You've just blocked it, whether it's for your own sanity, your own, mental security, whatever it is. Okay. And you know, you take care of you. All right. But they are letting you know that this is a situation for you, that your mental state has a large bearing on your physical state, your spiritual state, okay, your emotional state. And they're asking you to seek clarity, okay, to thaw the blockages of ice from years of pain or hurt or fear. They're asking you to heal, okay. For some of you, it might benefit you to look up ice dragons or water dragons, okay, with this one. Blue dragons, okay. Look up the mythological and metaphysical meanings of those dragons, okay. And then take whatever resonates and leave what doesn't behind. But we are getting a thawing, okay, of those blockages, a removal of those blockages. And while you are seeking this clarity of thought, this clarity of intention, this clarity of purpose, they're wanting you to know you're not alone, that you do have protection and you are guarded and watched over. Okay? So that is your situation and your challenge. The challenge is getting that clarity of thought, allowing that blockage to thaw. Okay? So let's see where your focus is or where it should be. All right? With this card up here in the focus position. And we have 6 of Wands. All right. Now, the 6 of Wands is a focus on leadership in this particular case. Because in this deck, this is the leader of the Tuatha leading his people to their new homeland. The fire there in the background is where they have burned their ships. There is no going back. Okay. You see these guardians watching over and they've passed through the gate. The other side is letting you know that you have passed the point of return. In your shadow work, you have passed the point of return. There is no going back to the old way. There's no of doing things in your life. There's no going back to the old you from before. You have grown, you have developed, you have changed, you have worked on yourself to such a state that now the only way is forward. There is no going back. There is no staying stagnant. The only way through is forward. Okay? So keep going. And while you do so, you will be leading others. I'm going to pull this down so you can actually see that card. There you go. You will be leading others and showing them the way. You know, whether that's overcoming intergenerational trauma, whether that's overcoming spiritual dogma, religious dogma, whether that is learning how to psychologically analyze oneself and come through the other side better for it. Whatever it is, and with the wands, this does have a spiritual connotation. You know, this is intuition and passion and fire, right? In the spiritual realms. And so, by example, you are showing others how to move forward, how to do it, right? How to get it done, okay? Let's take a look at your recent past. Okay. So your recent past here, we have the Magician. This means that you have absolutely everything that you need to get the job done, okay? And that you have been utilizing those tools. In the Fool's Journey, you have the first person he encounters is the Magician, okay? And that's who gives him the wand, the sword, the pentacles, the cup, right? And then he goes off on his journey, okay? And this is just a confirmation that in your recent past, you have been using those tools that the spirit realm, represented by Cernunnos as a stag here in the background, okay, the spirits of nature, the ancestors, and the divine, all right, have been working with you, and you have been doing it. You have been making progress, and that is a beautiful, wonderful thing, okay? All right. Now, in your possibilities position, we have the Ten of Cups. So there is a strong emotional component here for what you are hoping for in your outcome in the future, what is in the future for you. Okay, this is a strong possibility of love, true love, soulmate love. Okay, Look at the beauty, the passion, the love, the respect, the adoration, the compassion between these two people here. And it's well grounded, well rooted. See all these roots all around them? And the spirits of nature, the ancestors, and the divine looking out over them, blessing this union, and these overflowing emotional cups. Okay? So whether this is you and another person, whether this is you with yourself, finding yourself, being your own soulmate, being your own joy and happiness as you should be. Okay? Or whether this is a partnership of some kind that brings emotional fulfillment in the workspace or the spiritual space, all right? But we are looking at something that brings true emotional fulfillment and overflowing abundance, all right? And that's in your possibilities category. In the near future position, we have the Six of Cups, okay? And with that not only means having enough emotional stability and abundance for yourself, but enough to share with others. This is a card of loving charity, of being there for those in your life that you need to be there for, such as your children, grandchildren. This is volunteer work, okay? I'm also getting, with this tree in the background, you tapping into the world tree, you tapping into Yggdrasil, traveling the energetic pathways between the realms. Some of you may have seen Thor, the movie, which is nothing actually like the real mythology, but it can be fun to watch. But you know the Bifrost in that movie, you know the Rainbow Bridge that Heimdall watches over. And you travel the Bifrost to the different realms, right? Now, while that is fiction, there is truth in mythology, okay? There is messages in the mythologies, okay? And it doesn't matter what spiritual path you hold to, those stories came to be for a reason. And when you are looking at the world that we live in today and science that looks at physics and metaphysics, quantum physics, okay? And science has shown that there are multiple dimensions. And it appears through scientific discovery and research that there may be infinite dimensions. So there's something here about your love light traversing multiple dimensions, okay, following that energetic path. If you were to look at an energetic series of paths that linked realms or dimensions to one another, it might very well look like a tree, right? Like a world tree, Yggdrasil tree, linking all the timelines and the dimensions and everything together. So consider that not only does your energy make this world a better place, but across dimensional pathways, across lifetimes, this loving energy is making a difference. It is having an impact. And that is a beautiful, beautiful message. Okay? In your power position, you have the Knight of Cups. So this loving energy, not only are you sending it out, but it is being returned to you. Okay? And whether you're feeling this right now yet or not, this is absolutely affirming to you that there is power in your love, and that love is being returned, and that a true, abundant love is on its way to you, if it has not already arrived. Okay? And with the environment, we have Page of Pentacles. And while the pentacles are the material realm, the tangible things of the world that you can touch, such as your health, your wealth, your household, your possessions, you know, that sort of thing. In this cup, it is also, not cup, that's interesting. In this card, it is also showing Manny. Actually, some of you may benefit from looking into the god Manny. Apparently, I am having difficulty speaking. Money manifestation. Okay, so your environment, this is something you are working towards. You are attempting for financial security, health security, household security. You are trying to actively manifest this security, and you're learning new ways to bring about this sort of abundance in your life. Okay, and there's a passion here for it with that red robe there. There's a passion and acuity for this new skill that you are learning, or a skill that you are expanding upon that you already possess. Okay. There is something here with that slip of the tongue about the Norse god Mani of the moon, okay, and your emotions. Something here about your emotions and the moon. It might benefit you to keep a moon journal and to sync your physical and metaphysical practices with the moon's cycle. Take it if it resonates, leave it behind if it does not. In the hopes and fears position, we have the Strength card, which is number 8 in the major arcana. 8 is a number of abundance. And this being in your hopes and fears position shows me that you not only hope that you have the strength, you fear that you don't. And I'm here to tell you that you absolutely do. Look at her taking command of this bear in the way that she is, this fierce animal that is capable of wiping out life or creating it, right? She has it at her command. She has it at her beck and call. So this is letting you know you absolutely do have the strength, and with this apple in her hand, you also have the ability to create that abundance in that health, wealth, or household position that you are working towards. And in the outcome position, we have the devil. Okay, and there's something here about you overcoming this center position. Okay, you overcoming the gossip, the words other people say, your own thoughts that hold you back and keep you imprisoned. There's also something here about lust and passion. Okay, gluttony, whatever it is that's holding you back, whether it's addictions, and that can cover a wide range of subjects, other people's opinions of you, a relationship that you're not meant to be in, okay? Whatever it is that is imprisoning you, remember, it is a choice. You have to make the choice to remove yourself from it. Okay, and we're going to pull a clarifier card to cross this devil outcome, all right? And we're going to cross that with the Hermit. Okay, so going within, completing that shadow work that you have been working on, although shadow work never really truly actually ends, all right? But really taking the time to heal, all right? Digging deep, facing those internal shadows and bringing them into the light, and then letting them go in whatever capacity that looks like for you, okay? Letting them go. All right, we are going to read your crystal next. You chose the white howlite sphere. This white howlite was a gift from a Thunder's Trove, and you can find them here on TikTok, and if I can remember, I will tag them in the video description. Howlite helps with calm, self-awareness, and openness. It works with the crown and root chakras. Howlite offers a wonderful dichotomy. It attunes the mind to a higher consciousness while offering a subtle grounding. It stills the mental chatter of anxiety and stress, perfect preparation for meditation or a deep and restful sleep. Howlite stimulates inspiration and creativity, opening the mind to fresh ideas. It tempers anger and calms fiery emotions. It will enhance your decency and integrity, which makes it particularly helpful for honest communication in difficult situations. If you procrastinate, use it to shift away from that behavior. Howlite is a stone that promotes preventative care and is believed to strengthen bones and teeth. For personal use, if you wrestle with a short temper, keep a piece of howlite in your pocket. At home, it can enhance an environment of openness and productivity. And at work, it can be helpful when brainstorming, especially in group settings. Whoops. And I'm going to set that, sorry about the dog barking, guys. I'm going to set that right in the center and let that howlite do its work. Okay, we're going to send that energy right through this video and let that howlite do its work on your situation and challenge. Okay, I am going to pull a white light oracle for you. But I also want to pull, because of the Manny Moon thing that happened, we're going to pull a Moonology card for you as well. Maybe 2, we'll see. 3, all right, we'll take it. So first we have Hold Your Vision, Fixed Moon. So don't give up on what you're attempting to do. Keep going, keep at it, okay? Climb that mountain, you've got this. It's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio, okay? And we just had Scorpio season in November. And I'm getting here that someone here might be a Scorpio moon. Okay, if you don't know your big 3 placements of sun, moon, and rising, I encourage you to seek that out. There is an astrologer on TikTok called Sherry Pensian, and she does a wonderful job with that. You can always reach out to her and see if she's available to assist you. I know she's taking a break at the moment from social media, but perhaps in the future when she returns. Okay, but it's time to release negativity. Okay, that is the big message there that needs to be listened to. All right, negative patterns and thoughts about oneself and those within your household is coming through. And then expect powerful change. New moon eclipse. Expect powerful change. Okay? And that is absolutely going to happen for you. I see it. You just have to make that choice. All right? All right, let's get that white light oracle. And we're gonna take this one actually. And I'm feeling this one. Okay. So we have Anapasis number 4. I need to cover her chest due to social media guidelines. Do not give up, but allow your heart to disengage from your struggles. Give yourself much needed rest. You are in a phase of recovery. If you have been off your path, you are going to come back strong. You will regain your spark of passion, inspiration, and devotion. A certain order of events needs to take place for your soul path to come to fruition. Commit yourself to your sacred journey, trusting that the right thing will happen at the right time. All right, and I think that is beautiful, and it absolutely comes in with that Hold Your Vision card that we had. Number 35, Pearl of Sorrow. And we will cover that too, just in case. Taking responsibility for your experiences empowers you. You are going to resolve an issue through spiritual inspiration and higher guidance. You will rise up in full connection to your spirit and access a wealth of divine treasure. That which has brought darkness into your world shall submit to the light and be transformed. Have courage and commitment to your awakening, for you are a precious being and can go far on the spiritual path this lifetime. All right. I hope you found this message to be helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If there was anything you felt could have been improved upon, please also let me know that. Be gentle and kind as you do so if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. You are loved always. And you've got this. All right? You've absolutely got this. All right? Take care. Bye. If you chose pile number 2, with the Everyday Witch Tarot and the Eagle's Eye Crystal, then this is your reading. Now, how I read tarot is I read both the definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. And I'm pulling out this top card to talk a moment, because there's been a couple of messages that have come through here. And we're working with the Eight of Swords, all right? And what within us is holding us back? How are we imprisoning ourselves? What we need to release and let go of, what we need to set free. And this card, from the moment it came out, has been giving off 50 Shades of Grey vibes. Bondage vibes. Okay? And while this card is a bondage card, this is more of a sexual nature, the vibe that's coming off of this. There's a repression here. There is an internal repression, okay, of passion, and a lack of self-image, appropriate self-image, let's put it that way. I'm getting someone here who is repressing pieces of themselves, parts of themselves. They're repressing their identity, they're repressing their sexuality, they're repressing their internal being that is crying to be set free. All right? There's a lot of healing here that has been going on, that has been being done, and this has just brought greater awareness, amplified the need to be set free. You have been doing work, right? You have been examining things in your life, and that came out in pile number 1 about doing the work. You've been doing it. It's not that you haven't, but you've reached an area in your work, in your shadow work, in your self-expression and examination, that's a roadblock for you of sorts, where while you are fully capable of setting yourself free, arising from this self-imposed imprisonment and walking out, I mean, there's no chains, there's no bars, there's spaces in between these swords you can get up and walk right out of. But you are willingly submitting yourself, shrinking yourself, making yourself smaller, okay? And I am getting a message here about it not expressing, not communicating what it is that you need, what it is that you desire. You're being submissive in an area in your life when you are not meant to be submissive. What is that expression? Tapping from the bottom. Even if you are a submissive person by nature, they're asking you to give direction. They're asking you to communicate. And forgive me for using terms that may be found offensive or uncouth, but that is what is coming through, and I'm trying to deliver the message with as much authenticity as I can and still stay within the guidelines of social media restrictions. The message is communicate what it is that you need. Communicate what it is that you want, what you desire, okay? If your partner is not giving you what you need in the bedroom, then you need to find a loving and gentle way to communicate that. If they are not receptive of that message, then you need to examine whether this is the right partner for you or not, okay? If your partner is physically incapable of giving it what you need and desire, and you fulfilling your own needs and desires is not cutting it, then once again you need to examine, is this, can you actually live, thrive, and survive in this state? Or is it just going to breed bitterness? All right? And and that does happen if you do not speak the truth of yourself, if you do not speak the truth of your needs and your desires. And it doesn't just have to be in bed. That's just what's coming through here. This can be in any level. This could be that you need a raise. You're not being paid what you're worth, but you don't say anything. This can be that others in your household do not carry their own weight, and you're just constantly cleaning and not getting any help. Okay? Whatever level this is for you, they're asking you to speak up, to state your truth. Be loving and kind and gentle as you can, but be true to yourself. All right? Rise up. Set yourself free. Continue in your healing process by living your truth. Okay? And I know we just spent 5 to 6 minutes on this subject, but it was coming through from the moment that card came to the top of the pile. All right. And today we are going to use... Today we are going to use the no, that's not how that goes. That's how that goes. We're going to use what's known as the Celtic Cross, sword and dove and serpent, to make things very clear. I think it kind of looks like a shield and a sword, and since we're doing swords, you know, we're gonna go with that. All right, and we're just letting them fall out as they may. Okay, and it fell out the exact right number, so that's nice. All right, so in the situation position, and everybody reads these differently. You do how you feel is right. I like very clear and concise meanings if I'm going to do it in this way. In the situation, we have the Lover's card. Okay? So, we are dealing with, as the first card indicated, a rift in some form of partnership. Okay? Something that needs to be communicated. A bridge that needs to be crossed, right? And the challenge crossing it is the Four of Cups. And I'm getting here that someone is dealing with, okay, for some of you it'll be the loss of a partner, that you have lost a partner. For others of you, you are dealing with someone who may be struggling from anxiety, depression, discontentment, and no matter what you do, it doesn't seem to change or alter. I am getting someone here who's an empath, who can feel other people's emotions, and that can sometimes be difficult and cause difficulties in relationships. It can be difficult to ascertain what emotions are yours and what are someone else's when you feel someone else's emotions. So that's something that they're asking you to work on, to differentiate what is yours and yours alone, and what is someone else's. I'm also getting an unresponsive partner, someone who is not listening to what it is that you need and desire, not pulling their weight. Okay, there's a lot of messages coming through here. So in whatever way this resonates with you, whatever lapse or lack, okay, between you and a partner, whether that's love, work, family, okay. But we did get the Lovers here, so that's coming through pretty strongly. You're not getting what you need from this person or people. Remember, if you are in a polyamorous relationship, that all persons within said relationship need to be treated with equal love and respect and affection. Okay, so this is something that needs to be looked at. Okay, you hold the keys to changing this situation. See the keys there on the wall? All right, you just got to take them up and use them. All right, you have what it takes to fix this situation. There's a toolbox here on the shelf. You've got all the tools you need, but you have to make the choice to speak, to act, to convey. Okay? All right. The focus, 3 of Wands. So you've chosen a path in your mind, right? whether that's spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, you have chosen a path, whether you want to admit it to yourself or not. Three of Wands is having made the choice. All right. Now you just have to actually step foot forward, one foot in front of the other. Take that action. You've made the choice. Now you need to take the action. Okay? Follow your intuition. And that's a very passionate, fiery card. Okay, in the recent past, we have you making that choice. A confirmation here with the Chariot. You know, this way, that way. Which way do I go? And you're trying to balance the light and the dark within yourself and within your world and the partner you're with, you know, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. You're trying to take action with balance. But you're definitely being driven by an internal passion here with the red motorcycle. Okay? Driven by a passion. All right? So that recent past, we do see a confirmation of you making that choice. Possibilities is the Ace of Pentacles. So by making this choice, by taking action upon it and moving forward, not only does this reap the spiritual, emotional that you are seeking, right? But it also has an effect on your finances, your material world, your health, your wealth, your household. Okay. And there was a really interesting video recently from a medical doctor, and I wish I could remember his name. Anyway, he did a talk on YouTube where he said that having a fulfilling relationship, partnership, intimacy, true intimacy, okay, not faked, not a lie between two people who aren't speaking their truth, true intimacy had positive advantages and effects on health and longevity. Okay? So you taking action in this way has a positive effect on your health, your wealth, your household. All right? I am getting, some of you may have like a farm or an orchard or a homestead, or maybe traveling to a place like that, like an Airbnb, or you're going to Italy or someplace with terraced farming. I see some terraces over here on the side. So travel could be in your future as you're pursuing. That is a possibility here with that sun shining so bright in the background. Joy, whatever brings you joy is what is in your possibilities, okay? In the near future, we have the Two of Wands, which is interesting because your focus is on making this choice in the Three of Wands, right? The recent past, you have that making the choice, all of this, right? And then your near future, you have the Two of Wands, which is all about making a choice. So there's 3 different cards here about making a choice, choosing a path, and going forward. And we have confirmation on travel with the globe being held in the hand. Okay? So your present, your recent past, your present, and your future is all about making this choice. All right? Choice towards healing, rejuvenation, finding yourself, doing what it is that you're meant to do. Okay? And the Lovers, which is your situation card in the very center, can also be seen as a choice card. So bear that in mind. This choice is important. Taking action upon the choice is important. With your Power card being a 5 of Wands, that is really interesting. They are letting you know that there is power in the conflict. There is power in the arguments. There is power in the disagreements. Okay? Because not only does it fuel you forward, it helps you make that choice. You know, that moment when you have had enough and you need to do what is right for you. There is power in that moment. All right? Your environment is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is not only having enough emotional stability and love and balance to share for yourself, but to share with others. This is a card of charity, of generosity, of sharing of your gifts, your talents, your abilities with others. This can also represent, sharing like with a child. So like student, intern, may be affected, by what you do in your environment, in your life. I am seeing fulfillment in your work. So if you do not currently have fulfillment in your work, I do see this being an environment that you will enter. Okay? Hopes and fears. And in this case, you very much hope for happiness, joy, loving stability in all aspects of your life. But I also am getting a hint of fear of it as well, because you're afraid of what is required to make that happen. That may mean leaving a relationship that doesn't fulfill you. That may mean being bold and going out on a date when you haven't been on a date for who knows how long. It may be that you've lost someone and you're afraid of putting yourself out there again. I am getting someone who thinks they might be too old. And that's just not true. Love knows no age, okay? As long as you are both consenting adults and no one is being harmed, it's none of anybody else's business, all right? I'm getting there's some physical changes that happen with age that you're worried about, especially if your partner is younger than you are. And I'm getting that doesn't matter to them. They don't see you in that light, So you have a wrinkle or two, so you have gray hair, so you've got some extra pounds. They don't care. The person that is meant for you loves you as you are. Doesn't gripe and complain about some wrinkles or some extra pounds or some gray hair. They love you. They see your soul, and that is what they choose. And they also find you physically attractive, in case you couldn't tell from this picture. Okay? Now, whether you have children together or you bring children in from other relationships, I do see, or you have grandchildren or something like that, or you adopt or foster, or you're active in your nieces and nephews' lives or something like that, okay? I do see you having a positive effect on children and other generations, that your love, when you have it, when you find it, will resonate through time, okay? And this, even though this is a male and a female here, it does not stand just for male and female relationships. See the rainbow pattern in this tablecloth here, okay? Gender is irrelevant, all right, in this card. You following your true love, your true self, your true bliss is what is relevant. And then in the outcome position, we have the Sun. And honestly, you couldn't really ask for a better outcome. Okay, you really couldn't. The Sun is all things that make you happy, joyful, fulfilled, right? This is dancing in the sunlight because you are so overjoyed. You are so blessed. You are so abundant. All right. And once again, we have the multiple generations here with the Maiden Mother Crone energy. All seasons of life. Okay. No matter what your age, the seasons of life can bring joy. All right. Now, I'm getting, for some of you that are younger, it might benefit you to call upon the goddess Bridget. Okay. For those of you that are in a more mother energy, all aspects of the All Mother, okay, are valid. You know, it doesn't matter. all of us have the maiden, the mother, and the crone in us. So it doesn't really matter your stage of life, whatever calls to you. But for those of you that are mothers, it might benefit you to take a look at the aspects of the Morrigan, Epona, Maka, and things like that. That fierce warrior energy where you protect your young ones. Okay? And then for the older generation, the Kaliak, those of you who are going through menopause or have gone through it, who are, or menopause, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're male or female here. And you've gone on, you know, to a bit more advanced energies in life because of your experience, wisdom gained. You might look at the Kaliak, a very misunderstood, misrepresented figure, if you ask me. Okay, she just represents the winter, the older, you know, the endings, but she's also about the creation too. It might benefit you to look into the legend of the Kaliak and let your heart tell you what is true. But anyway, that aside, sunflowers bring some joy and life to your house by bringing in, you know, sunflowers and other flowers that represent joy. That might be of some benefit as well. But I see good things here, okay? While you may currently be in a situation that you're trying to remove yourself from, or you're trying to make that choice, or you're trying to find that courage, that bravery to step into your truth, all right, whatever that might be, whether that's in the bedroom, whether that's at work, whether that's family life, whatever it is, you have it, right? You've got the courage, you've got the bravery, you have the skill, you have the ability, you have the knowledge, you have the intuition, okay? But it's really emphasizing that you need to not just make the choice, but act upon the choice, okay? And then when you do that, this unfolds. And don't be afraid of that conflict that occurs while making these choices and moving on, because there's power in it. There's power in that moment of realization that you've had enough and that you can move forward and find this beautiful, beautiful life. Okay? All right. I'm going to quickly read for you the little slip that came with the Eagle's Eye. This one came from New Moon, known as the XL Medium on TikTok. But the Eagle's Eye, a gemstone with meaning and properties of strengthening its owner's thinking ability. From old times, people have believed its power to get the skill to make decisions in a calm state. You would be able to make the best decision by holding back your temper. And like I said earlier, that there can be some bitterness that comes from holding yourself in for as long as you have. Okay, and that can cause some anger. So this can help with that. I'm going to put it right here in the center on the challenge and the situation, and let it work through this video as we continue on. Okay. All right. Now, I'm getting for you guys that we're going to draw another crystal card that might be of help. Not everyone may have access to the Eagle's Eye, so let's see what else here. With the Ten of Swords energy coming out with kyanite, sight, tranquility, and meditation. And I know that kyanite is very good at healing emotional disturbances such as anxiety, okay, depression, and the like. I have seen it work with my own eyes. Now, that being said, please do seek out any medical assistance that you need, okay? But kyanite is the other side's second recommendation here for you in the crystal realm. Let's get you a Moonology Oracle card. A Time for Healing, Balsamic Moon. Okay, time for healing. You make that choice, there is going to be some healing that needs to occur. It's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. So someone here might be a Scorpio, or the person they're dealing with might be a Scorpio. Time to release negativity. Nothing is yet set in stone. So there is a message here that, you know, even if you have signed a contract, even if you are married, even if you have made a vow, okay, there are circumstances in which the law and the spirit realm allow for a dissolution of such a vow, okay? Nothing that you are currently enduring is set in stone. You absolutely do have within your power the ability to change it, okay? Remember that. Do not feel imprisoned, okay? Bring love into the situation. That is so important. No matter what is going on with you, no matter how much repression you have going on that has caused anger, bitterness, and resentment, please remember that core within you and act in love, okay? Because your core is loving. I see it quite clearly. What do you need to release? Negativity, right? But what else do you need to release? Waning moon. What do you need to let go of? Who do you need to let go of? Okay. And then we have show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. Okay. And when you do so, the energy is gaining momentum. All right. When you do so, the energy will gain momentum and propel you forward. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. I hope. Oh, here's another one. Don't let your past hold you back, South Node. Okay. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. Surrender to the divine. Full moon. All right. And have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon. Believe in the impossible. Blue moon. And for those of you where this was romantic in nature, a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. A new start is coming. New moon. And a win-win forecast is what to expect. Okay? So many messages for you today. They just kept coming and coming and coming. So, balance. Okay? Balance your spiritual and practical selves. All right? Both need to be tended to. Full moon in Pisces. Find that emotional internal balance. Speak truth to yourself and to others. Choose your path with intuition, conviction, and knowing yourself, right? You have to know yourself enough to make the right choice. And once you do, step forward in courage, boldness, all right? Honestly, I think I could have gone through the whole Moonology deck and there would have been more messages for you guys today. So, hang in there. Show the world the real you, all right? It is so important. So very important, all right? You've got this. You are beautiful. You are strong enough. You have everything you need to get through this situation and to see yourself through to this beautiful, passionate, joyous energy on the other side, okay? Hang in there. Keep going. Bye. If you chose pile number 3 with the Steampunk Tarot and the Golden Healer Quartz, then this is your message. And today we are using the Eight of Swords to draw us into the question of what are we imprisoning ourselves with? What are we holding ourselves back about? And what is it that we need to let go and release within ourselves, within our minds? Okay? The sword's about air, thought. Okay. And because of wanting very exact clarity for this message, we are going to be using the Dove and Serpent, otherwise known as the Celtic Cross. I think it looks like a sword and shield myself. And your situation plopped out right at the very beginning, so we are going to keep that as it is, right there. Okay? And that situation came out in pile number 2, that same card of the Lovers. So if you also felt drawn to pile number 2, please do explore that. Okay. Now let's take a look. So right off the bat, we have a divinely blessed union. Okay? People who have been together across timelines, across lifetimes, possibly even across dimensions. Really interesting energy going on here. Absolutely a past life vibe. It might benefit you to look into your Akashic records, okay? But this is a divinely blessed union. So if you are not currently in a soulmate, and this is something you're going to know. You're going to know whether you've shared lifetimes with the person or not. Okay, this will be clear to you. It will not be a mystery. Now, you won't know all the lives you've lived together, perhaps, unless you've done a past life regression or something like that together. But it will be clear to both of you that you have shared lifetimes together. Okay, so that is the situation, a divinely blessed union across lifetimes, whether it's one that you're currently in or one that is coming towards you. Okay, and I'm seeing the necklace on the Valkyrie angel energy up here on the top. It's really sticking out to me. I can't tell what kind of a necklace it is. It looks like maybe a key. Oh, that's interesting. I wear a... Okay. But there's something here about a key necklace. Okay, guys? It seems important. Or some kind of necklace. Maybe a clue for you. Also, the halo image above the Valkyrie angel up here. Divine, right? Divinely blessed. Really standing out. That matters. Crossed with the King of Pentacles, and I'm getting a money message on this one. Now, money, health, household, right? Your health, your wealth, your household is what your pentacles represent. And the King of Pentacles is true stability, grounded, because pentacles are an earth energy, okay? This is a leader, okay? In the tarot, this does represent a more patriarchal masculine energy. However, we all have masculine and feminine within us. It does not matter, okay, in this particular case. It could be male or female. I am getting here that for those of you that are okay, I'm getting a couple of different messages here. Do you see how this flame has jumped the fireplace and is out on the hearth separate from the other flame? I'm getting here a message of someone who feels financially that they cannot leave home. Whether that's you can't leave your father's and mother's home, or you can't leave a marriage situation that you're in, or a guardian, or something like that. There's something here about you feel like you cannot pursue your own life, your own flame, your own desire, your own passion because of a financial, household, or health situation. Okay, so take that as it resonates, leave behind what doesn't. I'm also getting that some of you, this may be spiritually, like there's some sort of spiritual influence in your life with this Book of Shadows with the Pentacle here. It kind of gives off a Gardnerian Wiccan tradition vibe, or just representing some sort of oath-bound or stricter tradition. I'm not wording it correctly. The other side's using a word I'm not even sure it's in English, so I'm not recognizing what it is. There's something here about secrets and not understanding something. Someone may be keeping something from you. There may be a tradition that you feel like you can't get out of spiritually, is the message there. I'm not sure what that word is. Anyway, there's something there is something here about this energy being the challenge, blocking this energy. So whether you're with someone else and that's what's blocking this soulmate energy here, or whether you're financially restricted and you feel like you can't pursue something else, or you're spiritually or health restricted, whatever it is, that's the challenge position, okay? Your focus, where it is or where it should be, is on the Ace of Wands. So you're focused on a new spiritual beginning, following your intuition, following your passion, discovering and pursuing your own truth, right? There's 4 flames here at different lengths, different levels of understanding. But there's about to be light revealed to show you, okay, what it is that you're not seeing. And I do see it happening, and at the time that I am doing this reading, okay, it is December the 1st. And you see this plant up here on the end. It's giving definite Yule-tide vibes, Yule-tide, Christmas-tide, Hogmanay, okay, whatever tradition you practice. It's giving that sort of vibes. So now, the month of December now, the moment we're in right now, is going to bring you clarity. For those of you who practice a tradition with multiple days for the holidays, so like the 12 days of Christmas or Yule or Hanukkah, or you know, some of you may practice Kwanzaa, or whatever tradition you follow with its holy days, okay? The number 4 is coming through. The number 4. So take that as it resonates, leave behind what doesn't, okay? In your recent past, you have been victorious over some sort of a situation, some sort of conflict. With the wands, that could be a spiritual conflict. With this mountain in the background, this could be a physical conflict, or an emotional or mental conflict, right? Maybe you had a difficult time trusting your intuition and you finally overcame that hurdle. Whatever it is that you had conflict with, you have become victorious over it, okay? In your recent past. If this has not happened to you yet, then this is something you were in the process of, okay? But don't cut your... I'm seeing here that some of you are being like, well, I don't really feel like I've been victorious over anything. And I'm getting the message that you're cutting yourself short. You're not giving yourself the dues you should be. All right? Think good, long, and hard within yourself. What have you overcome recently? Was there a moment of doubt? A moment of fear? A moment where you chose not to eat tons and tons of sugar, but instead chose a healthier path, right? Was there a moment where you were like, I don't really feel like exercising today, but you did it anyway, okay? Any of those may seem small to you, but in the grand scheme, that is a victory. It is a victory, and celebrate it, embrace it, acknowledge it, okay? In your possibilities position, we have the 5 of Swords. This is moving on from something mentally, okay? You're mentally moving on in this possibilities, bearing the hatchet of some sort of conflict, perhaps releasing and letting go of someone who's passed over, moving, like physically moving locations, okay? Releasing, letting go of old habits that don't serve you. Whatever this is, you are moving on from it. Okay, that's in your possibilities section. And in the near future, we have the 4 of Swords. And because you've gone through this, you know, you've become victorious over this conflict. You're working on this new spiritual beginning. You're releasing and letting go of any and all things about yourself and in your sphere that do not serve you. In the near future, you will be given the blessing of rest, of time to rest, okay? And those old things that did not serve you. We have the crow here in the background giving very Edgar Allan Poe, nevermore, right? Nevermore. Okay? So take that time to rest. Take that time to heal, to recover. All right? Because there is power in the pain that you have endured. There is power in the mistakes made. There is power in the failed relationships. Okay? There's power in the losses and in the heartbreaks, because you know what you don't want. You know what doesn't work. You know what you need to heal from. And knowing is half the battle. Sometimes it's more than half the battle. All right? The pain of your past holds power in that you know what you don't want. You know what you need to heal from. You know what you need to release and let go of. Okay? Don't hold on to the pain. Let it go. And let that fuel you and move you forward. Now this environment, the Six of Pentacles, I think this is the third time this card has come out. I think it's been in every pile so far. The Six of Pentacles, no, it wasn't. It was the Six of Cups that came before. Interesting connection though. This is not only having enough financial, household, and health to take care of yourself, but to take care of and help others, okay? Whether that's the children that are in your life, whether that's charity work, whether that's balancing your physical and spiritual life, whatever it is. Maybe some of you might choose to go back to school. I am seeing books here, weighing books and money. Some of you may be wanting money to go to school. That's kind of coming through. Anyway, the environment is one of stability, of balance, okay? That is what is going to come of this. And in your hopes and fears position, we have the Queen of Wands. So you do hope for happiness, passion, courage, determination. You do hope to embody all of those things, but you also fear it to some degree. I'm getting a fear of self, a fear of the power you hold. I'm getting that there is a lot of power here and a lot that hasn't been tapped into, a lot of untapped power. You're kind of afraid of what you're capable of. And I'm going to tell you something, and I want you to internalize it. Okay? I want you to really take it in. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to be powerful. And if you'll excuse my language, it's okay to be a badass. All right? Take it, internalize it, and live it. Step into your full power. Do so boldly, with courage and determination. Live your life in passion and power. All right? Always in love. Always, always in love. Okay? Never do anything without love. That's just a good, solid rule for life. But do not be afraid of yourself. You are a beautiful creature who is meant to live life to its fullest. All right? And in the outcome, we have the Knight of Pentacles. All right? This is forward, stable movement, right? This is health, wealth, household, as Pentacles are. This is grounded, stable, forward movement. Okay? This is the kind of movement that carries you forward into the rest of your life. This is peace, stability, and taking action within that energy. And it is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, stable energy. The white howlite from pile number 1 just rolled into the scene, so that might mean something to some of you. It might be of benefit. It does help with emotional healing and grounding, and here it did it again. All right, we're just going to bring it into the reading. We're going to put it on the rest card, okay? Emotional healing, balance, rest, right? Okay, I think I want to cross that Knight of Pentacles with another card. And we have the Magician. The card that tells you you have infinite power, infinite possibilities, and infinite resources. You have absolutely everything you need to make this happen. Okay? All right, let's take a look at your Golden Healer Quartz. Now, this palm stone came from the mineral mushroom, and if I can remember, I will tag them in the video description. They have good quality palm stones that I really enjoy. They have good quality, just crystals in general. So the Golden Healer Quartz helps with healing, obviously, as the name suggests. It is a master healer. It also helps with purification, cleansing, amplification of intentions, vitality, boosts energy, aids in divine connection, transformation, spiritual growth, emotional healing, and it balances the chakras, specifically working quite potently, might I add, with the solar plexus chakra. And let me show you how to take the best advantage of that specifically in my experience. Do it how you wish, but your solar plexus chakra, okay? It's above your belly button, all right, but below your chest. It is just right here, okay, in your abdomen. When you are doing a chakra balancing meditation, you lay the Golden Healer Quartz on your solar plexus chakra, okay? And your solar plexus deals with your identity, okay? This is who you are, the acceptance of who you are. Your creativity also resides, you know. This is such an important chakra to have in balance if you wish to seek your true life's purpose, your true love, anything true about yourself, okay? So meditating with it right there, okay? Anywhere above the belly button, but below the chest, okay? All right, now let's pull for you a white light oracle message. This helps with healing, confirmation, encouragement. Alana Fairchild is such a talented oracle card creator. I really enjoy her work. All right, number 16, the sun. I absolutely love it when the sun comes out in any capacity. It is such a joyous, beautiful energy. And this one really speaks of passion. I'm going to try and cover, well, she's pretty covered. It might be all right. I might have to put my finger, well, I don't know. That's probably fine. You have what it takes. You are a light bearer. Within you is a healing power and spiritual wisdom you can tap into to find your way through any conclusion or doubt. Have confidence in yourself and know you are enough. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Have confidence in yourself and know you are enough. Expect an affirming yes from the universe. All right. And there's a little note here that says our sun is a self-luminous being. It does not reflect light or energy from other sources, but rather generates its own light. It is quite literally an enlightened being. Okay. So take that how it resonates. I just really, okay, I'm going to read this one as well. It was standing out to me. Number 34, Sacrament of Extreme Unction. I just really love this sun card for you guys. It might benefit you to listen to music at 417 hertz for this card. All right, number 34, Sacrament of Extreme Unction. And look at the chakra alignment here, guys. I really encourage you to perform a chakra alignment meditation. Your heart knows how to let go so you can find peace. It is time for you to experience spiritual closure. A beautiful new reality is opening up for you. Entering it requires you to release your attachment to the past. You have been inwardly preparing for a powerful rebirth. Now is the time to trust in what is meant for you and move toward it with an open, trusting heart and peaceful mind. Okay, so whether that's the past of this lifetime or past of your other lifetimes, it's time to release and let go of what does not serve you and step into this bright, beautiful future full of love and knowing who you are that I see before you. I'm going to lay that right there so it begins to heal this situation for you. Send that energy right through the video. Okay? I hope that you found this message to be helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If you found that there was anything could have been improved upon, please also let me know that. Just be gentle and kind as you do so, if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. Do not let yourself or anyone else tell you otherwise. Okay? You absolutely are strong enough. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, come on. Queen of Wands, you got this. You got this. The Magician, you got this. I almost want to joke and say you could do it in your sleep. You've got this. Honestly, for you, it wouldn't be a joke. You could literally do this in your sleep. Okay? Hang in there. Know that you're loved beyond measure. And let me know how this unfolds for you. I always love hearing about past life connections and how they unfold in life we're currently living. All right? Bye. If you chose pile number 4 with the Rider Tarot and the aragonite crystal, and I have no idea why I just rolled that R like I did. Okay? There might be something there for some of you. Perhaps some of you are Scottish or something. I don't know. Not sure where that came from, guys. All right. We'll just laugh at ourselves and go on. But we're using the 8 of Swords to ask the question of what are we holding ourselves back from? What is imprisoning us? What thoughts, and ways of thinking do we need to release to set ourselves free? All right. And that's such an important message. And today, for the sake of clarity, we are going to be using the what's known as the Celtic Cross, Dove and Serpent. I think it looks like a sword and a shield, which is rather apropos since we're dealing with swords. And each place has a specific meaning. Now, this is done many, many different ways, okay? I do it in a way that is as clear and concise as I can make it when I do this particular format. And as you can see, the situation and the challenge has already fallen free. And we will just take the cards as they come, okay? All right. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. All right? Okay. Now, right off the bat, in the situation, we have the Strength card, number 8 in the Major Arcana. So, the other side really wants to emphasize that you have infinite strength. See that infinity symbol above her head that she's wearing a crown on? You have infinite strength to call upon. All right? They want to make sure that this is not in question. They're there for you. You're not alone. Okay? You can overcome any difficulty, any situation. I'm getting the message that you are divinely blessed. That you are a divinely blessed entity. Okay? I'm getting some pretty strong messages coming through here, actually. Chosen of the divine, aspect of the All-Mother, chosen of the All-Father. I mean, I'm getting some really strong energies going on here, guys. This won't be for everyone, but there is a Leo energy because it is a Leo card from the Strength card. Okay. Might benefit you to look at the metaphysical properties of a lion as well. I am getting divinely royal, okay? Divinely chosen. Divine aspect. Where that's the stuff we're dealing with this beginning here, okay? This is crossed with the Eight of Cups. So this is someone who has done lots of things in their life. This is someone who has endured, experienced, gained, lost, okay? This is someone who has lived. But there's still something missing. There's still something that you didn't even know was missing. It was concealed. See the moon here with this half crescent, okay, and the sleeping figure, okay. It was concealed, but it is now being revealed, all right, to you. And now that you see it, now that you know it's missing, you can't unsee it. You can't unknow it. And you can't go back to the way things were before you knew about it. All right? This aspect of you, once it became evident, it forced you into a choice. Right? Stay in what did not represent you, what did not serve you, or seek out that which does. All right? And that's your challenge. Whether you are currently in that situation of making that choice, or whether you have made that choice and you are in the challenge of leaving behind. And some of this stuff may have absolutely been wonderful for you. It may have been very fulfilling for you for a time. But once you saw the thing that was not there, the thing that was not fulfilled, the thing that you were not doing or performing or whatever it is, okay, and you couldn't unsee it, that emptiness created a portal, a door of choice, all right? And that is the challenge that you are currently in. The focus with the Ace of Wands being a new spiritual beginning. And there is an emphasis here with the other side, gifting you with this knowledge, gifting you with this experience, gifting you with this focus, okay? And they're asking you to follow your intuition, all right? Follow your passion while still practicing the enlightenment of knowledge, wisdom, logic, reason, right? It's a twofold experience. In the recent past, we had financial stability here. Perhaps you were doing some form of volunteer work also, because there's some charity and generosity occurring here. But with the Six of Pentacles, your health, wealth, household. So maybe there was a job that you were doing that provided you with financial benefit, but didn't fulfill you spiritually. Or maybe you found a job that does both. It does give you financial benefit and does benefit you spiritually. Take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. But what I am seeing here is a seeking of balance in your health, wealth, and household. So if you were working too much and not spending enough time at home, you balance this out. If you were working too much and not giving charitably of your time, your energy, your effort, your finances, what have you, this is going to be balanced out. I'm also seeing you sharing your gifts with others, a way forward, okay? But this is your recent past. So something within your material realm has shifted in your recent past, okay? Some of you may have been recipients of charity, and then got a position where you no longer had to accept or receive charity to survive. So there's a lot of messages coming through. Please take only what resonates with you, okay? In the possibilities, we have Ace of Swords, which is a new way of thinking, new ideologies, new philosophies, new knowledge, new wisdom, new ways of processing information, new perspectives, okay? And for this particular group, with the crown coming through on top again, as with the Strength card in the middle, definite new perspectives on yourself and your place in the universe. Okay. I'm seeing mistletoe and seaweed. And that may or may not be what these actually are, but I am seeing mistletoe and seaweed. So it might benefit some of you to look into your past lives. There may be some druidic energy there. I am getting, there was a certain, practice where people would go and gather seaweed for their health. I believe it was in Ireland. I know there's seaweed farms and things there as well. It might benefit some of you to look into that. There's a book called Holy Water, The Sacred Nature of Water within the Scottish Highlands and Islands, the history and archaeology of the Scottish Highlands and Islands. And in that, it does briefly mention about this gathering seaweed practice. If I think of the academic article that talks about this, I'll try to attach it for you guys. There is something here about spiritual knowledge from the past and healing practices coming together in this new way of thinking, okay? And understanding who you are, who you were. I mean, it could be that you were a druid and a seaweed farmer in 2 different lifetimes. I don't know. But there's something strong about that coming through here. I'm also getting a water dragon, a seahorse, kelpies, the Loch Ness monster. Okay, that stuff is coming through as well. So Scotland, Ireland, the British Isles is coming through as a former life. Okay, could be one that you're living now. I don't know. Because that's in the possibilities, right? So that could be a tradition that you follow in the future. All right, with the near future, we have the Magician, which means you have absolutely everything that you need to achieve what it is that you want to achieve, okay? You have infinite power, right? Infinite resources, infinite strength. In the Fool's Journey, the Magician is the first one that he comes to, and that's who gives him the cup, the sword, the pentacle, and the wand. Okay, so you are in your near future going to have everything you need. Okay, and infinite power to call upon. You know, there's that expression, the sky's the limit, except for in this particular case, in your case, there isn't one. The only limits are those that you set upon yourself. That's the message I'm getting here. Okay? But remember to be humble, to be modest. With great power, I know this is a cliche of a statement, but it is absolutely true. With great power does come great responsibility. All right? And it's meant to be wielded in love. Always love. Okay? Anything outside of that has consequences that, you know, you're just karmic repercussions. Okay? So always act in love. Your power position is the Wheel of Fortune, fate, destiny, karma, the Wheel of Time. All right? I'm also getting past life energies here as well. So there is power in lives lived. There is power in your fate and your destiny. Okay? And the turning in the wheel of time. I'm also getting there's power in study for you. So studying the ancient mythologies, studying the origins of religion and faith and spirituality, studying medicine of herbs or whatever it is that calls to you, okay? Money manifestation, whatever it is that you're called to do in this life, there's power in the study of that, okay? And then in your environment, we have the sun. We have joy, happiness, fulfillment. This is just the epitome of beautiful, okay? Everything you could possibly hope for and more. That is the environment that we are dealing with. In your hopes and fears, I'm getting that you hope to be able to get the job done, but you're also concerned about it being too heavy of a load. It's a lot. Being this powerful, having this kind of a calling is a lot. It weighs a lot. It takes a lot out of you. It is a lot. There's no other way to put it. But you do have the strength. Remember, in your situation, infinite strength. And in your near future, infinite resources, infinite energy, infinite power. All right? So you can and will be able to carry the load, carry the burden that is being asked of you from the other side. And the end result, the conclusion, the fulfillment, the outcome is the Hanged Man. Enlightenment. Knowing. You will absolutely know who you are. You will know what your purpose is, and you will fulfill it. And you will have that knowledge that you fulfilled it. Honestly, I don't know if there's much more a person could ever ask for in life. That is an astoundingly beautiful, magnificent, awe-inspiring gift to be given. To know your purpose and to know you will fulfill it. And there's not much more peace a person can have when the time comes, is there? All right, let's take a look at the aragonite. Read the little description it comes with. And this came from New Moon, known as the the XL medium on TikTok. Aragonite works with all chakras, specifically the root base chakra for grounding, and the Earth Star chakra to create a deeper connection to planet Earth. It helps release issues from the past and attachments in the present. Its highly grounding energies allow it to help relieve stress and nerve problems that may lead to restlessness and twitching. Now, obviously, seek a medical professional, okay, if you're experiencing those symptoms. All right, we're going to put it right here in the middle on the situation and the challenge and allow it to do its healing work through this video for you. All right, and we are going to pull a white light oracle message. This has encouragement, healing, confirmation, and it is by Alana Fairchild, a very talented oracle creator. All right, number 35, Pearl of Sorrow. And this may have come out in a previous reading, so if you were drawn to another one of the piles, please do check it out. Taking responsibility for your experiences empowers you. You are going to resolve an issue through spiritual inspiration and higher guidance. You will rise up in full connection to your spirit and access a wealth of divine treasure. That which has brought darkness into your world shall submit to the light and be transformed. Have courage and commitment to your awakening, for you are a precious being and can go far on the spiritual path this lifetime. And we absolutely saw that in your reading. I love it when those kind of synchronicities come through. And number 16, the sun of 417 hertz. It might benefit you to listen to music at 417 hertz. And the sun did come out in a previous reading. So if you were called, actually they may have come out in the exact same reading. What reading was that? If any of them called to you, please go check them out, okay? You have what it takes. You are a light bearer. Within you is a healing power and spiritual wisdom you can tap into to find your way through any confusion or doubt. Have confidence in yourself and know you are enough. Expect an affirming yes from the universe. All right? This is extraordinary. And it says here, our sun is a self-luminous being. It does not reflect light or energy from other sources, but rather generates its own light. It is quite literally an enlightened being. And so are you. And so do you too. Generate your own light. I hope that you found this message to be helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If there was anything you felt could have been improved upon, please also let me know that. Be gentle and kind as you do so if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. You're very powerful. There is no denying that from this reading. Okay? Wield it in love and know that you are loved infinitely. And you absolutely do have the strength to get through anything that comes your way. Take care. Love you. Bye.